Ronnie, biologically female, wears trousers, works as a farmer, rocks a short suit, and lives with a wife and adopted child. Luckily, Ronnie lives in a society that is accepting of this identification, which is known as Chalalai, living amongst the largest ethnic group in South Sulawesi, Indonesia. Ronnie is Bugis, a proud, self-sufficient village people. Bugis place significance on status, rank, and honor. Despite this stratification, the New Straits Times of January 17, 2013 says, for Bugis, one's entrance into the world does not determine how life is lived or ends. In fact, the Bugis of Indonesia view their role in society as fluid, vital, and guided on free will, especially in regards to gender identity. Dr. John Carl, in his 2011 Think Sociology, writes gender stratification among the Bugis is complicated, a unique social system. The Bugis constitute gender into 5 parts, essentially 5 social genders. This notion of life outside a male-female dichotomy, as GenderSpectrum.org of 2013 describes, conflicts and challenges Western culture's view of gender as a binary concept. Unlike Western culture, gender variance has been documented across cultures and recorded history, making it vital. We first understand what the Bugis 5-gender system is, then decipher its effects upon the Bugis community, and finally, reveal the implications of this diverse and balanced community. Around the world, deeply embedded homophobic and transphobic attitudes violate human rights. The United Nations Human Rights Council on March 7, 2012 announced at least 76 countries abiding by the binary gender system, including the United States, maintain discriminatory laws against such individuals. With the array of discrimination, it is necessary we understand what the Bugis 5-gender system is, and second, how this unique system works. First, the Bugis of Indonesia hold no indigenous term for gender, nor gender-specific pronouns like she or he, but their concept of gender, as seen in their 5 gender classifications, is vastly important and complex. The first 2 classifications, Orone, or masculine male, and Makumrai, feminine female, are similar to our male and female. Next, Chalalai and Chalabai are comparable to our concept of transvestite. Only these classifications are tolerated and supported. Dr. John Carl defines the Chalalai as anatomical females who assume characteristics of men. Contrarily, Chalabai are anatomical males who follow some cultural suggestions for women. By emulating and contesting Bugis femininity and masculinity, Chalalai and Chalabai distort gendered binaries, presenting their own distinct gendered identities. And the 5th gender, Bisu, or to us, ambiguous, embodies the perfect mixture of male and female. As androgynous shamans, they are believed to communicate with spirits and therefore occupy a special place in Bugis community. Second, several factors go into constituting one's gendered identity, from ideas of the body to spirituality, sexuality, and fate. Sharon Davies, during her case study of this community, found that gender is not only derived from the roles that one plays during a sexual interaction, but also gender is determined by what is performed in public. Bugis history celebrates a multitude of gendered identities, which contributes to their current tolerance for gender diversity. Individuals learn and choose their own gendered identity through social exploration, family, and fate. But for gender to be recognized by society, one must act and dress as such identity. However, for those classifying as Bisu, representing both male and female, they must either be born intersexed or receive a calling to become Bisu through a dream. The fluidity and flexibility of the Bugis system allows them to be who they want. Yulia, a participant of Davies' fieldwork, was born male. Now, even though long-haired Yulia wears trousers, makeup, and skirts, Yulia, along with other Chalabai and even Chalalai, never connote being trapped in the wrong body. Because the Bugis believe all are made, all beings, if an individual is born male but behaves female, it's because Allah intended it. which creates two visible effects: balance in the community and a safe haven for the LGBTQ of Indonesia. First, the Bugis diverse system creates an economy. First, the additional three social roles outside of male and female allow a greater degree of diversity and understanding within the Bugis community, which, according to the Wales Council for Voluntary Action of July 20th, 2012, keeps life and the world ordered. The Wales Council continues, the five-gender system exists for a specific reason. Should any of Allah's genders not be present, the world would cease to exist. A Bugis community member told National Geographic's of October 2008, we pray that everything, animals, plants, people, everything, stays connected to keep life and the world balanced and safe. Because the Bugis allow the five genders into their community and spirituality, they view the world as balanced. Second, the Bugis diverse system creates an economy with Indonesia's strict regulations on homosexuality and cross-dressing. On March 5, 2012, the Islamic Ulema Council reasserted transgender people must live life conforming to the gender they are born with, explaining if they are not willing to cure themselves medically or religiously, they must be willing to accept their fate to be ridiculed and harassed. A long history of violence has persevered towards the LGBTQ of Indonesia. Yet this abuse is not present in the Indonesian villages of the Bugis. No, everyone may not fit exactly into one of their social roles, but their system allows the LGBTQ to closer relate to a gendered identity. As a result, the society is more progressive. While few Indonesians will move to the island of South Sulawesi, the Bugis' tolerant worldviews provide a safe haven for the widely discriminated LGBTQ of Indonesia. Sharon Davies articulates the importance of gender within the Bugis community, and their understanding that gender is necessary to appreciate other aspects of Bugis social life leaves us with two implications that change the way the Western world interprets gender: Islam. First, the Bugis challenge the Western world's vision of gender as a binary concept. GenderSpectrum.org says, we base gender on anatomy. When a child is born, a quick glance between the legs determines the gender label that child carries for life. Reinforced largely by 50 shades of pink and blue, yet cultures such as the Gatois of Thailand, Hittites of India, and the Bugis of Indonesia disregard this simplistic notion. Understanding biological gender occurs across a continuum of possibilities. Allowing the Bugis view of gender diminishes our less accepting static model that is produced through a solely physical understanding and permits a far richer degree of biology, gender expression, and gender identity to intersect in multidimensional arrays of possibilities. Second, the Bugis diverse system creates a new understanding of our knowledge on Islam faith. The Joshua Project, a research initiative highlighting ethnic groups, recognizes the Bugis for their well-known fervent adherence to Sunni Islam, labeling them the most Islamic of Indonesia. As mentioned before, Islam carries a reputation of discrimination against the LGBTQ. However, with the Bugis a part of the Islam nation, our perceptions of Islam are due for a change. Research presented January 9, 2013 through Nanyang Technological University showed that over the past 5 years, attitudes towards gays and lesbians have become slowly more acceptable in Indonesia. However, abuse remains present against gender identity. The Bugis are Islamic, but they deviate from Islam because of their five-gender system, granting them the opportunity to influence Islam's tolerance, altering Islam as we know it. In 2011, the U.S. National Center for Transgender Equality released a report confirming the pervasive and severe discrimination faced by transgender people, opening our mind to allow a diverse comprehension of gender. We can begin to understand human identity. Dr. John Carl concludes, while the Bugis have ideas about gender that are different from ours, and that seem to be more accepting of different kinds of people, the men and women of the Bugis community are free to choose a gender role that suits them best.